everyone, and welcome to today's reading. I hope that all is well. If you are new here, I am LeeApocrypha, and it is a pleasure to meet you. If you are returning, welcome back, soul family. I love you guys, and I really appreciate you for sticking around. I hope that everything has been going good. I know that it's been a busy past couple of weeks for a lot of people. But let's go ahead and get started with some singing bowl, and then we'll get straight to the messages. Always relaxing. Alright. Just to let you guys know, I am available for personal readings if you are interested. I am not in a physical location at the moment, so it would have to be virtually, but I am available if you guys are interested, so let me know. Alright, so I haven't used this deck in a while. It was kind of calling out to me today. I had some cards here from the other day, and yeah, felt like using it. I feel this card wants to be pulled. The Well, interesting. This is a card that is unique to this deck. The Well, I believe. I heard wishing well, but also that you may be wishing somebody well, or you're hoping for some kind of new beginnings. Let's see, one card stayed behind. The Four of Wands in reverse. I feel like some of you may be feeling unbalanced and you're wishing for a change in your environment and your situation. This could be within career, this could be within home life, within your relationship, within your creative pursuits. I see that as well. I'm also getting a kind of like hermit energy here. In this card we can see her holding this little lantern. There's the smoke emanating from the lantern while she's looking upon the horizon where the ocean is. Behind her is a huge tree. Tree symbolizes wisdom, family, home, stability. This tree is huge, symbolizing that it is old. It has been there for many, many years. I feel like some of you may be afraid that things won't change in your circumstances because a lot of what is around you has been the same for far too long. If this is about family, then you may have a lot of family around you that just refuses to make changes that they need to in order to benefit themselves and everyone around them. I am seeing like stagnancy. You want a new beginning. You want to try something new. You wish that things were different in your family life or at work. But again, I keep feeling like this stagnancy, this unbalance here. Four of Swords in reverse. This could symbolize that there are people around you that are at unrest. You may have been feeling very exhausted lately, very uneasy. There may have been a lot of emotions coming up that you have this inclination that you have to face them in order to move forward and have a new beginning. But that means that you have to go within and figure that out and heal it. And not a lot of people want to. Underneath the deck is the Four of Pentacles in reverse and the Magician in reverse. However, we do also have the Sun. Oh, I pulled another card by accident. And it was the Seven of Swords. So, what I'm seeing with this here is that there has been a desire for change, for balance, for new beginnings, as I have mentioned. To release stagnancy, there may be people around you that are selfish, that don't share, that maybe when you need help, they're not around, but whenever they need help, they kind of just force you into helping them. This person here is looking very intently at this one pentacle, while their feet are on a couple other ones, and there's one above their head. What I'm seeing with this is that there's this need to change your perspective on something. You have been too focused on something that perhaps has not been growing to your liking, or not as fast as you wish that it would. It's like there needs to be this recalibration for some of you. Some of you are focusing too hard on one particular thing that is not bringing you happiness. And some of you need to focus on something specific in order to bring in more stability. But with the Magician in reverse, I feel like this is saying that a lot of you are feeling uneasy. Again, that word is coming out. Feeling like it has been difficult for you to manifest what it is that you're trying to manifest. There's this strong desire for happiness, for abundance, for prosperity, for happy home, happy work environment. But at the same time, there's this fear of injustice, unbalance, this disarray, this chaos. It's like when there's changes that need to happen in our lives, when we focus on the negatives and we see it as, oh, well, here we go again, and things are happening bad, and I didn't want this to happen. Why are things always falling apart? Why is it always one thing after another? Instead of focusing on the negative, it's important to focus on how you can perceive it as a lesson, as a teacher. How can it benefit you? If something has been let go in your life, how can that benefit you? How can you change your life around in order to better yourself and the people around you? Well, a lot of times it takes a perception shift. We need to not focus on the negatives, but instead focus on how to utilize what we have, to appreciate what we have, and to make the changes that we need to in order to move forward. But there's a lot here about perception again. If you look at the sun, if you stare at the sun, you will go blind. We all want happiness. But if you're always seeking, how can I say, if you're always only looking forward to what it is that you want, you're going to be very disappointed when you don't get it. And you're going to be missing the whole point as to why you did not receive it. Sometimes what we want is not ready for us. As much as we may hate to hear it, it's the truth. We are not always ready for what we want. Sometimes we need to push through just a little bit longer. Just prove to ourselves how much we really want that thing. Create space and time for that thing in order for it to be received. But if we're always afraid of how things are gonna go wrong, then we may be, I just saw 11:11, we may be in a negative cycle. We have the Ouroboros there. We may be in a negative cycle of, what's the word? Self-fulfilling prophecy. It's not that your guides want you to be going through all this chaos. It's that your soul may need this chaos in order to learn how to transmute it and make changes in your life, because how can you expect to travel the world when you're not even open to it, when you don't even have the time or the money, or how am I saying? I just looked down, I saw the King of Swords also underneath the deck, but this crow or this raven is giving me Odin vibes. I feel like that may be significant to somebody. You need to have a clarity of mind, and sometimes it's very difficult to have that because our focus is on what we want. And when we don't get it, we may be upset, we may not understand, we may feel like we were robbed of something we deserved, or perhaps we may feel like we're not deserving of that thing. But that's not true. You have to be honest with yourself what your intentions are with that desire. Be honest to others what it is that you desire and what your intentions are. Be mindful not to blind yourself, focusing on what it is that you don't have, what it is that you don't want to happen. Focus on what you do have around you, the people, the places, the things. Be grateful. And when you find yourself slipping back into this focusing on desires that may be far out of reach, focus instead on how to get there. It takes little steps to walk a mile or a kilometer, however far. Everyone starts somewhere, and it takes persistence and consistency in order to achieve what it is that you desire, in order to have what it is that you want. It doesn't happen overnight. Whether that's a business that you're trying to start, whether it's a wardrobe that you're trying to shift into, whether it's a new car or a new relationship or a new job, whatever the case is. It could be anything. It takes time. It takes persistence. And it does take a level of planning. However, it also takes a necessary level of fluidity, because most of the time you'll find that no matter how perfect your plan may be, things aren't gonna go the way that you plan. That tends to be the case for the majority of us, the majority of the time. Maybe we have an idea of how our day is gonna go, and life throws you those curveballs and sees how you handle it. You can let it ruin your day, or I saw 1551, or you can learn to find balance in it and see it as an opportunity for you to prove to yourself what it is that you really want, and an opportunity for you to get your energy in the right place so that you can align with what it is that you want. Let's see here. Just because it takes a long time to manifest your dreams and your desires doesn't mean that you should give up. My spirit guides reminded me the other day, right? My fiance is an artist, and we were hanging out. Interesting. Follow your intuition card fell onto my lap. And we were drawing together, like he was drawing something on his own and I was next to him drawing something as well. And I had this feeling of like shyness. I felt pretty shy because I'm over here criticizing my art before I even begin, and I'm talking shit to myself like, man, like I used to be able to draw better, and I used to be able to make my ideas come to life better, and now whenever I try it looks like shit. I'm talking all this mad shit to myself, right, while my fiance is just over here drawing. And I heard this message, this reminder from my spirit guides, like, hey, stop criticizing your work. You don't have to show it to anybody. And if there's anyone who you should trust, it's your fiance sitting right next to you doing his own art, right? Just draw for yourself. Just throw your ideas onto the paper. No matter how it looks, don't criticize it. Just make it come to life. The only failure that exists is not trying at all. Okay. I was shuffling, and the card that was left behind is competition. It says summon courage and self-confidence, and this does tie along with what it is that I was just saying. It does take confidence in yourself. Even if you're not where you want to be, just do it anyway. Because I guarantee you, over time, you'll see your progress, and other people will see your progress as well. But if you're just sitting there judging yourself, being in an illusion, it says embrace the truth. The illusion is that you think you're not good enough. The truth is, you gotta keep going. How can you ever really know what you're truly capable of if you never even fucking allow yourself the time and the space to try? What do you know? If that's the case, you know, whether it's art or it's music or just anything creative that you've been wanting to do, that you've been putting off because of your lack of self-confidence and courage and believing in yourself, to just do it. New beginnings. Begin your new life. You just gotta do it. You gotta keep going, keep growing. Confrontation. Pick your battles wisely. You have to pick your battles wisely. So, for example, instead of wasting all this time and energy and negative thoughts and what ifs and I suck, I'm not good enough, I look like this and this person, stop comparing yourself. Comparison is one of the worst killers of joy, because then you don't even allow yourself to begin. All right? Opportunity is always amongst us. It just says opportunity knocks. Go for it. When you feel that desire to draw, to paint, to sing, to dance, to make music, to, I don't know, whatever the fuck it is that you do, go with it. Go with the flow. Do it anyway. The only person whose judgment really matters is your own. Because I'll tell you what, so many people are so easy to criticize the work of others, but they don't even know what it's like to do what it is that that person does. Most people who talk shit about artists are not even artists themselves. Most people who talk shit about all these musicians and all of that don't even know how to play their own instrument. Most people who are just jealous and spiteful don't even get off their ass and make their own shit happen. So they just throw their criticism and their anger and frustration on other people around them just because they are bullies. Really, just being bullies. Oh, well, I feel like I'm not good enough, so this person sucks. Why? Just because you're jealous of their skill and their talent, or their beauty, or their passion, or their motivation, or their whatever? Listen, I know what it's like to be jealous, but one thing that I am not is I'm not the type of person to look at somebody in jealousy and be like, well, you're not good because I'm jealous. Like, no. No, I'll be like, damn, I'm jealous, but you're fucking good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you want to get better and improve on something, then get off your ass and make it happen. That's how that person did it. I guarantee you. So yeah, cheer up, live in the moment, but you gotta keep going. Allow yourself to embrace. I just looked down and saw this again. Embrace the truth. Start seeing things for what they really are. This fear is because you are comparing yourself to these other people, or these other artists, or these other musicians, or these other models, or whatever the fuck the case is. It doesn't matter. Everyone's different. They are them, you are you. Are you following your truth? Are you on your path? Or are you just sitting there talking shit about everyone because you can't get off your own ass to do your own thing? Be honest with yourself. It takes a lot of looking in the mirror to be in that state of mind where you're done criticizing yourself and you're just ready to learn. But you have to be ready to transform, to let go of those pains, those illusions, those heartaches, those traumas. You have to learn to choose your battles wisely. Choose your thoughts wisely. Follow your intuition. When you feel that knock, that call to go for it, to dance, to sing, to draw, to paint, to write, to do whatever it is that you feel like you need to do in your life, what your heart calls you out to do, do it. Life is too short to waste all this time, waste all this energy and just criticizing ourselves or comparing ourselves to others. Trust me, I get it. I mean, that's something that I work on too. Criticize myself all the damn time. It's exhausting. At some point, you get tired of it, and you have to make a choice. Am I gonna keep allowing myself to feel like shit just because of my perception, or am I going to shift my perspective to be my greatest ally and not my worst foe or enemy or weapon or whatever? Let me get one more from this deck. One more from this one, please. If you have a dream that you wake up from feeling like shit, whether it's an anger dream, a jealousy dream, a dream that you failed or lost at some competition, or that somebody else got a promotion, or that your business failed, or whatever the case is, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that is challenging you. Okay. 7 heavenly virtues, keys to goodness. So I was shuffling and that card just stayed behind. So you have to be the change you want to see in this world, because nobody can do that for you. Interesting. Okay. We had the 7 heavenly virtues that stayed behind, and then at the bottom of the deck we had the 7 deadly sins. Very interesting. Okay. So, what I'm getting from here is follow your dreams. This is giving me star card energy. You need to heal things so that you can move forward, so that you can see things clearly, then do it. No one else can do that for you but you. If you need help, then get the help that you need. Do what you have to do to make it happen. But you have to make it happen. It takes persistence. It takes time and energy and money and this and that and the other. But you have to start with where you are. Okay? Like, for example, if you like a certain fashion style and you had been liking it for all these years and you've been finally deciding to just go for it and start participating and dressing up or whatever the case is, don't expect to have a full-blown wardrobe in a month, even a year. Don't expect that. It takes years to develop and to realize and to really pinpoint your style and to find the clothes that fit and that feel good and that help you express who you are, and whatever the case is. If you're an artist, don't expect to find your art style in one day, in a week, in a month, in a year, because your art style may change over time, and that's okay. Just keep at it. You know, if you're a musician, don't go into it just maybe trying to learn just this one style of or this one genre. try out different things, hear different ways to make music, and utilize that to your advantage. The most creative bands are probably those that, mix and match genres and give it a little twist, and it doesn't sound like everyone else's thing because they do it differently. Okay. So whatever the case is, don't expect yourself to be perfect and to have it all down in a day or two or a week or a month or a year. Give yourself a lot of time, but work at it. So give yourself little goals so that you can meet those bigger goals. But be patient with yourself. Be realistic. Realize it takes time and energy and money and this and that and the other. But you have to start somewhere. Start with the basics. Whether that's in art, start with the foundations of learning how to draw figures, or perspective and shading and color theory and all of that. If you're a musician, start with the basics and learning like how to read different time signatures and how to read notes. If you don't even know how to read notes, then there are people that are really good with ear training, that have like a really good ear and they're able to learn like that, but the mass majority of us honestly don't, and that's really hard skill to learn. Start learning these things. Although it sucks and nobody wants to sit there and learn all the major and minor scales when they're starting out learning music, do it, because that's what's going to help you. You need the foundation. For example, as well, if you're getting into a certain fashion style, you need to make sure you have the basic foundations for that style, for example, because then you're not going to ever get the full effect of what you want unless you have the foundation for it. So, like learning on what you can get little pieces here and there, so that way you can build upon a cohesive wardrobe, so that way you don't have to invest so much time and money on so much starting out. Utilize what you have. If it's a completely different style or something, maybe you can trade clothing with somebody who does wear that style if you have something that they want, or sell something that you have and get something that you want. Whatever the case is, whether it's fashion or it's music or it's art or whatever the case is, learn about it. Learn about the basics of what makes that thing what it is. So learning a certain genre, learn what are the basic foundational structures that make that genre what it is. So in the lyrics they talk about this and that, or they tend to stick to these type of scales, or with genres there's so much you can do. You can play it fast, you can play it slow, like just test things out, learn the basics, and try something new. Stop criticizing yourself, okay? Let's say you've been wanting to wear a fashion like Lolita fashion or something, but all your life you've worn jeans and t-shirts, and so you're not sure how people are going to receive you wearing something so crazy, bizarre, or whatever. Who cares? Teach yourself not to give a fuck what people think. And yes, it may be hard, and yes, in the end you might still care a little bit, but in the end, do you feel like you? Do you feel like you're expressing yourself? Do you feel beautiful and powerful and sexy and gorgeous? I know people don't like to associate sexy with Lolita, but I digress. Do you feel like you are expressing one of your greatest versions? Do you feel like you are true to yourself? Or do you feel like it's just a costume? You know what I mean? Start to wear it at home. Start to wear it on an occasion. If you're able to wear whatever you want at work, wear it once a week or once a month or whatever. Just give yourself an excuse that you have an occasion after work or something, and then wear it. And in the end, regardless, whatever people say, who gives a fuck? If you feel like you're expressing yourself, you're not harming anybody, you're not harming yourself, then who cares? It's that simple. It's not always that easy, but it's literally that simple. You have to change your perception on things for you to become your greatest ally. You have to learn how to utilize your mind as a tool and not as a weapon. I'm getting all stuffy, I'm sorry. You are either your greatest ally or your worst foe. And what would you rather be? And then we have celebration. Oh, and face your fears. Okay. So, I was going to say here's the duality. Not giving a shit about what it says, but either embracing your truth and allowing new beginnings to come forward, or pushing everything away. Okay? Push away those negative thoughts. Be like, you know what, not today. I don't need to hear all this bullshit on why I think that I'm not good enough or pretty enough or whatever enough XYZ. I don't need all this bullshit excuses that are just wasting my time and energy. I'm going to give positive energy and utilize my time wisely to allow these new beginnings to come in. And then what I was going to say under that is this celebration card. It says, let go and have fun. You have to do it because you love it. Don't do it because you feel you need to. Because I guarantee you, when you feel like you have to do something, it becomes a chore, right? I've been a music major before. And at some point, practicing certain songs that I did not care about, but being a musician and having to do them anyway because you're in band or marching band or orchestra or whatever the case is, you gotta do it anyway. But when you see it as a chore, it becomes daunting, it becomes frustrating, it becomes annoying, it becomes all these negative things. Have fun with it. See it for the beauty that it is. Hey, you know what? Maybe it's not something I want to be playing, but it's helping me learn how to do this time signature better, or it's helping me learn to listen for cues, and it's helping me learn to visualize and to hear and to feel. See it as a positive and not for its negatives. Yeah, I have to learn the scales. Damn it, like there's so many of them, and I have to memorize this and memorize that. If you see it as a chore, it will be a chore. If you see it as the stepping stool towards your progression and towards what it is that you really want, then you have the power within you to utilize it as a tool and not as like a negative, But you have to be open-minded with that, and you have to let go, and you have to have fun. If you're not having fun doing it, why the fuck are you doing it? Yeah, maybe it's work-related, and you don't want to do this, that, or the other, but you have to because it's your job. Well, that's different, because you're getting paid to do it, and you agreed to do the job, and that's why you're working. But if you want to build something for yourself, then do it. Do it because you enjoy it. There was a time I had a friend who is a musician, and I remember this friend telling me a long time ago, man, I'm gonna go to like maybe nursing school, I'm gonna maybe be a doctor or a nurse or this or that or the other. And I was like, why? Is it because they make money? And this friend was like, yeah, like I need money to do this, to do that, to, to buy the instrument that I need and the amp and this and that. You're gonna make yourself miserable because it takes so much time, education, money to be able to be a doctor. And if you go into it just for the money, you're gonna be miserable. And trust me, people who need the healthcare, we need more people who actually love their job and who aren't doing it just because they're wanting the paycheck. And you can tell the difference when you go to the doctor and the doctor only cares about their paycheck. You can feel that shit. Versus someone who's there because they genuinely care about helping others. You can feel that. You can. It's like plain as day. Don't do something that you don't love just because there's money in it. Because I guarantee you, the better you become in doing what it is that you do love, you can make money off of that. Does it take time? Yes. But so does getting an education on something you don't give a fuck about. I just saw 4111. So 111 may be significant to you. Maybe you've been seeing it. Maybe focus on what it is that you're thinking and see how that aligns with what it is that you need. Excuse me. What else? This next one, face your fears. Release the power of fear. You see, the thing is, what stops us in life, in all reality, it's not that this person says you can, it's not that that person says this or that or the other. It's this fear that we have within ourselves that keeps us from doing the things that we really want to do. It's crippling. It is literally the most crippling thing you will ever experience in your entire life. The fear, the doubt, everything stems from, everything negative stems from a fear. They say that it is not hate that is the opposite of love, it is fear. Because fear creates so many blockages and illusions and all of that. The fear of not being good enough, the fear of not being understood, the fear of being alone, the fear of not having enough, or whatever the case is. A lot of what holds you back, I guarantee you, you delve deeper, it stems from some kind of fear, some kind of paranoia, some kind of past experience that has made you feel fearful. Even if it was yourself telling yourself that you're not good enough, well, that's bullshit. It's not that you're not good enough. And again, I'll say, what was that channeled message that I heard the other day? It was, the only failure is not trying at all. Truly. Truly. Just because someone doesn't win a race, does that really mean that they lost? I mean, technically, they didn't make one of the first, second, or third placements or whatever. So I guess technically, by societal terms, they lost. But in reality, no, they didn't. They had the opportunity to be in that competition in the first place. And that is an opportunity that not everyone has, or not everyone can do. Not everyone can even get to that place in the first place. Did they lose? Did they really? No. Unless they allowed it to stop them. But you know what? If you see it as a lesson and you use that to motivate you to do better and better and better, then you will do better. Let it fuel you instead of stopping you. I saw 4433. Now this next card that's under here is potential. Think big for your future. Realize that you have the potential within you. You do. You have everything you need within you. It's all there. But if your mind is foggy, you'll feel discombobulated, you'll feel misunderstood, you'll feel this, that, or the other. It's not that you don't have the potential. It's that your mind is too busy focusing on all this other bullshit that is keeping you from your potential. Choices. Make the best choices. That's the only way to achieve what it is you want. You gotta make it happen. But you also have to be patient with yourself and realizing it's gonna take time. It's gonna take practice. It's gonna take consistency, perseverance, right? It's gonna take many falls before you get better. Somebody who works out, if they stop just because they're sore, they're missing the point. Yeah, you have to give your body time to rest, to rejuvenate, to relax, but then you gotta go again. You gotta be consistent, and then you won't be so sore. And then you gotta push yourself, know your limits, but learn how to push yourself to take that next step, and the next step, and the next step until you get to your goal. But if you stop just because you're sore, you're missing the point. You know, some things hurt in life. You know, if you play guitar and you get calluses on your fingers and you stop just because of that, well, I mean, you really want to play or not? You're going to have to tough it out. You know, of course, rest your fingers, you know, do what you can, learn techniques that you can do to help. But if that's a part of the process, then you're going to have to push through it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, knowledge, seek knowledge. Whatever it is that you desire, you can make anything come to life. But you have to have it in your mind. And when life throws you those curveballs, you can't see it as a failure. You have to see it as a challenge for you to progress, for you to do better, for you to achieve what it is that you want, if you really want it. But be honest and be real with yourself. You need to let go of the illusions, the fears, the doubts, the crippling whatevers. It's all about and then I accidentally knocked some cards over and it says dolphin, don't worry, be happy. Don't worry about it. The only people that become really successful are those that despite the fears, the doubts, the whatever, they keep pushing. They keep going for it. They keep practicing. They keep at it. Those are the people that become successful. The ones that fail are the ones that give up. Because there's no timeline on when you'll be successful. But you also need to embrace that and understand it and again, embrace it as a part of the journey. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey, right? Yeah, you could go to that country you've always wanted to be your whole life, but if you didn't plan an itinerary or anything, you can waste a lot of time just sitting there, not really doing anything, being at the place you always wanted to be. Make little goals to help you reach your big goal. And anything that gets in your way, See it as a challenge, as an opportunity to learn and to grow, not as the obstacle that's going to keep you from progressing and from being successful unless you let it. But the whole point of this reading is to make you aware that you don't have to let it. Life is a mind game. It really is. Those that are successful have a strong mind. Those that fail have allowed their mind to take over them, and they lose themselves because they lose control over their mind. Life is crazy and it's full of illusions. Sometimes you just gotta look in the mirror and it's that simple. Doesn't mean it's easy, but it can literally be that simple. Alright, so I'm gonna end the reading here. I hope that it helped. I hope that it brought some clarity and perspective into your situation. If you're interested in a private reading, let me know. I am available. And yeah, I hope that you'll stay tuned for the next video, whether it's a reading or something fashion related or whatever the fuck it may be. But yeah, I wish you all the very best. I love you guys. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me, and I wish you guys the best. Take care. Bye.